On the right.
And for those just joining us, this is round 6 at the TCGPlayer Max Point Championship. $50,000 on the line. We've just entered the Modern portion of the event. So this is our first round in Modern. 3 more rounds after this, 7, 8, 9. And then tomorrow we're starting at 9 a.m. And also it's daylight savings time, so don't forget to set your clock forward. Or backward. Is it back? Spring forward, fall back. So yeah, we go back. We had an extra hour tonight.
Extra hour. Can't say no to that.
I never
that
have.
Hot value.
In my life.
Magic players love value.
That is value of life. That is life value. Susan's starting off with an Overgrown, and it looks like she's...
shocking herself. So
yeah.
We're either going to see a turn 1 Deathrite or a turn 1 Thoughtseize.
I'm going to think Deathrite.
What makes you say that?
Because I saw one in her hand.
Oh, okay, sure.
But that doesn't mean
clue.
she doesn't have a Thoughtseize. But it feels like Deathrite's just about play. Yeah. The clue was actually just flat evidence. And so Adam is on Affinity.
If you had said like, oh, I just think so, that would have tilted me so hard.
I have a feeling.
And then you would have been correct, and I would have just like flipped the table.
And that's when Caleb lost it. I should have just been like, oh, I know Susan. She would never lead on Thoughtseize when she has Deathrite Shaman. And then she just plays Deathrite.
Or just like she doesn't play Thoughtseize sometimes, or just some crazy fact that doesn't make sense.
Because she told me she would start this way.
She likes Deathrite way better.
It's like double shocks, shocking herself again. But she could actually play a 3-drop this turn, so maybe she goes Liliana here?
I mean, she's not necessarily shocking. That's a Verdant Catacombs. So we don't know what she's going to do with that fetch land.
It looked like an Overgrown Tomb. Oh, a Scavenging Ooze.
We all make mistakes, Frank.
I know. I often don't, though.
Great card in Modern. Pretty good in this matchup, too. The life gain matters.
I mean, Scavenging Ooze actually single-handedly shuts off matchups. Not because it's so prominent, but just the threat of it.
Sure.
Because there's the Reanimator deck that people are pretty scared to run. Like, you don't want to just put a Grizzlebrand in your graveyard and have Scavenging Ooze eat it, because that's not good.
It's also good against opposing Deathrites.
That's a good dude. If she doesn't have an answer to Steel Overseer, that guy's scary. Yeah, Living End, it's real good against. We got 4 guys.
She's fetching either for coming to play tapped land or to bolt the Steel Overseer at end of turn.
So what do we think, Stomping Grounds or Blood Crypt?
There's a Stomping Ground.
And tapped. She doesn't care. She don't care.
Well, it means she doesn't have a bolt.
It means she doesn't care, Caleb. She has 2 bolts in hand. She's just like, nah, whatever. I'm going to let
I'll kill that when I get to it.
I'll get around to it.
Whatever.
I got things to do.
Those pandas just look adorable. I can't get off those sleeves.
I'll get you some.
Really?
Maybe.
This went from a for sure thing to something that I don't think is going to happen.
Well, when you held me to it, I was like, maybe.
Susan untapping, drawing.
Abrupt Decay. That'll do it.
She already had a Maelstrom Pulse and a Kitchen Finks in hand. Her hand is pretty good for fighting Affinity.
It's real good. It's got all the tools that you want. It's got some life gain, and it's got like a couple
I don't think she can let the Steel Overseer untap.
I wouldn't want him to. Because then Adam can just activate his Inkmoth Nexus, and then it's real good.
Using the Abrupt Decay. This lets her leave the fetch land in her graveyard, whereas if she was to use the Maelstrom Pulse, then she wouldn't be able to use Deathrite Shaman for mana later.
One thing I like is that Susan is the underdog, so I kind of want her to win, but I love Adam, and he's our writer.
How is she the underdog?
Because Adam has more. I think Adam has much more notoriety. Not in terms of deck choices.
Okay, in terms of like sheer experience,
right.
And Adam has a lot of Pro Tour experience. He's well known for his constructed play.
Correct. Yeah, I was actually doing coverage for a Grand Prix, a Legacy Grand Prix, and Adam was playing Esper Stoneblade. Just watching him, like, it was so precise. Like,
right. I can see him doing very well with that sort of deck. He kind of him and BBD kind of remind me of each other.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that comparison.
As far as their precision in constructed.
And Adam's such a nice guy, too.
Oh, yeah. They're both very nice guys.
And another Steel Overseer. Like, we know Susan has the Maelstrom Pulse. Like, but do you use it on the Overseer, or do you just get rid of the double Signal Pests?
It's hard not to just kill the Signal Pests.
It is, but
I might be greedy here.
Activating double Inkmoth and then putting counters on them. Are those Blinkmoth or Inkmoth?
They're Inkmoth,
right?
So that's a pretty fast clock.
That is. Those are 2/2/2s. That
would be a 2-turn clock, actually, if he goes land.
Especially with the Signal Pests. Look at that fancy unglued island for Adam. Never to be outdone on basic lands.
So I guess she kind of has to hope that either he doesn't have a second land to activate the Inkmoths, or he's busy playing other things. Kind of looks like both.
Yeah, Infect
I think that's a Memnite in his hand.
Infect seems scary for Susan just because her life gain is not really going to cut it. And you have to have instant speed removal for the ink
Yeah,
moth.
Scavenging Ooze isn't as good at racing Infect as it is
it's
at
not,
damage.
yeah.
That's for sure.
You cannot remove a creature from their graveyard and remove one Infect counter.
The nice thing about this game is that, for Susan, is that Adam Yurchick is very far from affinity for artifacts.
Yeah, that's very true.
His mana development's kind of stymied.
And he tapped all 3, which makes me think that he might have an Etched Champion in hand.
That's a really awkward card here. Okay.
Oh, and a Mem Knight, so actually
Sure.
that's better.
I like activating the Steel Overseer as a sorcery. That makes a lot of sense.
Susan grabbed her life pad, and he's like, no, not attacking with Steel Overseer.
I like doing that. Someone taps their land or elf, you're like, block.
You're like, I'll take it. I'll take one.
I'll block it.
Just throw. And then they're like, no, I'm not attacking. You're like, I'm still blocking. I don't care. I already announced it.
We
It's too
can't
late.
back up, sir. If you want me to call it judge, we can call it judge.
It's like when you're teaching people or playing against people who don't know how Magic goes, and they think it's a game of speed. Like, if you can say block faster than
Craig Wesco has a fantastic story about that. From the original TCG Championship, his opponent, he's playing in a grinder. And
Terminate. Interesting.
Pretty good card here.
Real good.
His opponent plays something and goes go, and Wesco's like, well, at the end of your turn I'm going to do that.
He's like, no, I
his
said
opponent's
go.
like, no, I said go.
It's too late. like they turn Magic into a game of speed.
Right. And like the guy calls the judge over, and they talk to the judge, and the judge is equally puzzled about.
I don't understand anything about this. Why would you even think that?
This game looking very good for Adam Yurchick now. He's got a very hard to deal with threat in the form of Etched Champion, and then he has a plating on it, which is how Affinity beats Jund.
Yeah, oh yeah,
as
definitely.
An unkillable threat with a plating.
I mean, it's a 6-power creature right now.
Maybe if Susan could find an Abrupt Decay for the cranial plating.
And actually, if Adam can activate his Ink Moths, that's 8 power on that guy alone.
Oh right, just to pump the artifact count?
Just to pump and make him 8-2, 8-3.
For sure.
For show.
That's not what I said.
That dude's an 8-3 for show.
Oh my god. So what do you think about pumping the Scavenging Ooze with this attack? Like if she had exiled her remaining... Or is that a land in the graveyard?
No, I think it's an Abrupt Decay, Maelstrom Pulse, and a Terminate.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Those are trace removal spells.
There's no mana to be had.
Oh boy.
Is that lethal?
Can he cast it and equip it?
That's lethal,
yep,
yeah.
That's the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that guy's at 11.
Yep.
Wow, I thought Susan was in really good position too.
She was keeping him off Metalcraft,
right?
Keeping his count low.
And
then he played an Etched Champion and killed her.
And you even said you were like, that guy's not that good in this matchup, didn't you?
When did I say that?
I don't know. You said it a while ago.
I don't think I said that ever.
Don't lie about it. One of the things that the TCGPlayer Max Point series is introducing in 2014 is HeroClix. So if you guys are a fan of the Max Point events from Magic, like bronze, silver, gold, whatever, at your local stores, we're now having Max Point events for HeroClix as well. So you guys can have sweet local tournaments for HeroClix.
Exciting stuff. I've always kind of wanted to get into HeroClix, but one of the reasons I haven't is because it doesn't have a competitive scene.
There is none. Yeah, and if you want to play an event,
adding that,
you have to go to you have to arrange for X number of people to go to an event at a specific time. But now it's like, if you know your store is going to have such and such event at such and such time, you can just be like, oh, there's a HeroClix Max Point event on this Saturday. Oh, now everyone's going to go.
Which is awesome. Yeah. Which is how Magic tournaments are set up.
Yeah, awesome.
Very convenient.
Yeah, and that's how you get it started, actually.
Before, I think the only major HeroClix tournaments were I know they had the World Champions at Chips at Gen Con.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned that's the only one
that
we
plays
really
in
know
that.
about.
That's all. That's the only major HeroClix tournament I've heard about. So this, it sounds like something the game needs.
Yeah,
that TCGPlayer is bringing it
for any store. Same thing with Magic Max Point. For any store, if you have call your local store, tell them you want Max Point events, and that's all they have to do. They can order a Max Point kit. They can then organize their own HeroClix events, and they all lead up to a Realms Championship. So
I actually think I know of several stores that would want to do that. I'm going to mention that to them now.
HeroClix is, as a comic book fan, I've always thought HeroClix was really interesting.
Yeah, the flavor is there. You can fight Superman versus Batman,
right, and
whatever you want to do.
It's funny because you don't even have to work on your own flavor. You can basically just use the flavor that's been around for 70 years. You know. With Superman being 70 years old, Batman 70 years old, you know?
Right. And just like in Magic, you can also ignore the flavor.
Right.
And just play to kill people.
It as a strategy game.
Which is awesome, too.
And
the game has some depth to it.
And the other thing is that, you can even incorporate your own flavor and be like, oh, well, this is my team of Superman and the X-Men, you know?
Yeah, why not?
Or whatever.
I don't think there's ever been a Superman X-Men crossover.
There has never been. Not exclusively. The two universes have crossed before.
Sure.
But
like
it was
there's been
never
like
just
Batman
like
versus Superman.
versus X-Men.
Or,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Spider-Man versus Superman. I've seen that one.
Yes, there has. Yes.
They eventually like
It was
fought
in,
on
like,
the
the
same
70s,
team. They
yeah.
just kind of like it was kind of a draw or whatever.
So these guys are sideboarding right now.
That is correct.
We're at a Magic event, aren't we? I forgot. We're playing HeroClix of Magic. I like comics, though. I mean,
I love
I've
comics.
read comics since I was like 10 years old.
I was reading
Probably
comics last
earlier than
night.
that,
The one of the new 52 spin-offs in
Yes.
DC.
That's actually funny. Like, I only read comics online now, so
It's hard to argue with it. It's like way more convenient.
it's way more convenient. And here's all my...
I do like supporting comic book stores, though.
I do,
there's
too.
something cool about it.
I used to have a subscription with Midtown Comics, actually. I used to spend like $60 a month on comic subscriptions.
Oh, specifically, I was reading The Injustice: Gods Among Us, where Superman like kind of goes crazy and takes over the world.
Interesting.
It is. It's a sweet series.
The game is apparently pretty good as well.
Oh yeah, I've seen the game played in a couple competitive fighting tournaments, and it looks like it has some depth to it.
Yeah.
Kiting might be a little bit too easy for my tastes.
That's
where you that's where you do like long range attacks to keep the opponent from getting near to actually attack you, which is very frustrating if you're the opponent.
It's
if
also
you're the
called,
opponent,
like,
you're just like getting lasered constantly.
It's also like it's called being cheap as well, and like
Cheese killed.
yes. So for those of
Cheese
you
out of the
just
game.
joining us, we're in round 6 of 9 today. We see Susan Zell on the left facing Adam Yurchick on the right. Adam is playing Affinity, and Susan is playing Jund. We got into a little comic book tirade there. But I'm Frank Lepori. I'm here with Caleb Durward. We're at the TCGPlayer Max Point Championships today.
Hello, folks.
$50,000 on the line.
Adam
And,
Yurchick wins last game
Adam is
just
up
by
a game.
playing a champion and putting a couple platings on it,
Yeah, that's...
as Affinity is wont to do.
He played a champion like a champion.
Out of his sideboard, he's bringing in another Etched Champion to go up to 3 of that card. And then...
Is it etched or is it etched?
Whatever.
Okay. I mean, I'm not actually saying you're wrong.
They're like fantasy card names. I'm actually
Well, etched is a word, though.
right. No, I'm way less like concerned
Oh,
about
you're saying being fantasy card
being
names.
correct about
you're
a fantasy card name than actual
that's lazy.
English. Yeah,
That's laziness.
whatever.
And you have an English degree, no less.
I do.
Just
I do.
like me.
That doesn't mean I use it.
That's that's.
And he's also probably bringing in a Miser Rest in Peace and a Miser Relic of Progenitus, because that
Yeah.
can make Tarmogoyfs way worse.
And Relic is also good against if you can time it correctly. Like it neutralizes her Deathrite Shaman slightly.
right, because Deathrite Shaman targets.
Right. So you can actually. Well, I mean, you can't choose with Relic, but if you can get
you
it down
pop it.
early enough.
You don't have to choose if you just pop it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, right. Yeah, she targets it, then you just respond by taking away everything. Or if you get it down early enough, you can actually just 1-for-1 the graveyard. Like
Susan has some interesting sideboard slots.
Creeping Corrosion. Another Maelstrom Pulse. I imagine.
Yeah,
that would
I don't
probably
think
come
I've
in.
ever seen Creeping Corrosion.
What is that? Destroy all artifacts?
Yeah.
It's like the Green Shatterstorm.
Right. I think Shatterstorm is slightly better because they can't Welding Jar to regenerate.
Does
So
it say
usually
no
in-
regenerate?
What? Yeah, it says buried or something that means that they can't be
Buried.
regenerated.
Yeah, buried is like.
So
the,
if you have
what's the god
if you have a
text?
choice between Creeping Corrosion and Shattering, what's it called again? I'm sorry. Shatterstorm.
Shatterstorm rather.
If you have a choice between the two, generally Shatterstorm is better. Creeping Corrosion might be easier to cast with her mana. Like she has a basic forest, but she doesn't have any basic mountains in here. So that might be one reason behind that decision.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
And
if
she's
your
got
deck
a
is-
Seal of Primordium, which is an awesome sideboard
that's
card.
just a removal spell.
Some Jund Charms probably coming in here.
Double Ancient Grudge undoubtedly coming in.
Obviously, yes. And then she has Olivia Valderin, which might be sweet.
Fulminator Mage. Is Fulminator Mage good enough?
I don't think so, no.
It kills
It's too
Inkmoth
slow.
Nexuses. Okay.
3 mana. Like, she has way more efficient ways of dealing with Inkmoth Nexus in the deck.
Susan went to 6. So Adam's probably thankful about that.
And it's 6 on the play, too.
Yeah.
I think I see an Abrupt Decay in her hand, though.
That's a good. I mean, that's a good
That could
start.
make up for a mulligan.
Affinity's just a scary deck. Like you can feel, like as we just saw in the previous game, you can feel like you're very far ahead,
And then just suddenly lose.
and then your opponent just plays 2 Cranial Platings, and then you're out.
Susan Zell playing a Verdant Catacombs and cracking it immediately.
Interesting. Thoughtseize or Deathrite Shaman?
That's a basic forest, so
Deathrite Shaman it is. Do you think she just wants to minimize damage, or does she think she has all the lands she needs in her hand?
it's probably a mixture.
Both.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
think she knew what she was playing against for game 1, so the turn 1 shock herself to make her mana more fluid
Yep,
made more
Deathrite
sense.
Shaman.
whereas now she's more likely to conserve her mana, or conserve her life total, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And then we also just see another fetch land in her hand. So
True.
that one can fetch a Blood Crypt, and then she'll have all of her colors.
And then she's got the trifecta of colors. Starting with a Signal Pest off of a Blink Moth Nexus. Not to be confused with the corrupted brother Ink Moth Nexus.
Probably a Tarmogoyf here.
Or
It'll be a 0-1, though. That's not very exciting.
no, but I mean, there's nothing Adam can really do about it. It can just grow.
Right. Next turn, then she can Ancient Grudge something,
Yeah, she just
and
gets
then
it
suddenly
down.
it'll be a 3-4.
Yeah, because you're getting creature, artifact, and instant in the graveyard.
Right.
And even if you flash back the Ancient Grudge, it's still a 2/3.
And she might draw another land.
Sure. And yeah, I mean that seems fine. Or if Adam activates the Ink Moth, she can actually kill it and then use that as mana as well. That's an option. Does Adam only have one land?
Shocks himself to play a Vault Scourge there.
Nope, he definitely does not. Wow. And that's what Affinity does.
That is 6 cards out on turn 2.
Yeah.
Very explosive start from Yurchick.
And
Weak 2 Jun Charm, but that's about it.
Free. Yeah, I mean, if she has a Jun Charm, it's... What is that?
She would lose her Deathrite Shaman, and he would lose pretty much everything.
2 damage to everything. Tarmogoyf did pretty sizable.
Right. But that's not what's happening here. I think she's considering what she wants to Ancient Grudge.
I think you just have to get the
Kill the Steel Overseer.
Yeah. Steel Overseer. That dude is just a beast.
I think you leave the Signal Pest alive. Maybe not. I don't know. It's difficult to say whether you flash back to kill the Vault Scourge or the Signal Pest.
Grudge you, bro.
I'm not sure why Deathrite Shaman didn't serve here. Maybe she's casting something in her second main
or
phase.
she could get a land, and she might want to exile something. Maybe. I don't know. There's nothing to really...
Yeah, you don't want to exile and shrink your Goyf here.
Yeah. What are we searching for right now? Oh, Marsh Flat land?
Yeah. So some form of swamp.
Interesting.
We did see Jun Charm in her deck, so...
No, it's coming into play tapped, so I don't know.
Just to pump the Tarmogoyf.
No, but I mean, I don't know why she didn't serve with the...
With the Deathrite Shaman?
With the Deathrite Shaman, because she can't block it.
I think she wants to give herself the chance to flashback Ancient Grudge if Adam plays a Cranial Plating.
What's the flashback? 1? It's 1, right? It's 1 green?
Right.
Yeah,
One green.
that makes a lot of sense, actually. Actually, I was under the impression that it was 1 to cast and 2 to flashback, so yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Other way around.
Yeah.
That would be a much better card, though.
Yeah?
Yeah,
because then you can play
to
on 1
cast.
and then play on 2, yeah, that makes sense.
You could blow up 2 artifact lands in Legacy.
And on first turn and second turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the initial cost is more important than the flashback.
It is, you're right. That's a good point.
Because you may or may not even have time to flash something back over a given game of
Master of
Magic.
Ethereum. I didn't... Some lists aren't running the Master.
He has 2. He might have cut 1 for Etched Champion because he brought another 3-drop in. He might not have. I like Master. When I was testing this deck, I'd actually cut Thoughtcasts to fit in more gas. So I had enough... I would just play more Arcbound Ravagers, Masters, Etched Champions, that sort of thing. Rather than depending on Thoughtcast to draw me into gas, I would just run more of it. I thought it was fine. Pretty much everyone runs 4 Thoughtcast right now, though, including Alex Magleton, who is the undisputed
Arguably
master
one of the best Affinity players in the world, yeah.
Affinity, yeah.
For those of you interested, the TCG Player author tokens have recently been posted to our Facebook page. So if you guys want to check that out,
that's exciting.
Head over to magic.tcgplayer at Facebook and check them out.
There's a Craig Wesco one, right?
There's a Craig Wesco one.
I'm a fan of Craig Wesco.
He's a good dude.
He's a really nice guy.
I like Craig a lot, actually.
He's done me so many favors, and just like from the kindness of his heart.
Yeah,
He's just like
definitely.
a stand-up gentleman. And then there's you two for some reason.
I don't know why they... I have no idea.
I'm teasing you, Frank.
No, you're not.
I would use Frank Laporte tokens.
Yeah, you will. I'm going to force you to. When I get a bunch, I'm going to mail you like 100. And I'm going to be like...
Yeah, I need a 0/0
if
germ
I don't
here.
if I don't see these in every game at every event, I'll find you.
You'll find me? That sounds like a threat.
It was a little bit.
Oh, dear.
Yes, that's right.
Things are getting dark. Turn the lights back on. It is getting dark in here.
We took a turn for the worse here.
I guess it's pretty close to Halloween.
We're getting there. Well, I mean, we're passing it, I guess. We're getting away from there.
Right, but we're still close to it.
That cranial plating on a Vault Scourge is pretty solid.
So last turn when he ran out the Master, he was fine with it getting Ancient Grudge because he knew that he was going to...
He knew he had a cranial plating.
Right.
Adam Yurchick, ladies and gentlemen. He plans ahead. How big is that guy? 5'6"? Is that a 6'1"?
Talking about the Vault Scourge?
Yes.
No. Yes.
Try it. Think about it.
I counted for plating and I forgot the 1 power from Vault Scourge.
And again, we can activate a Blink Moth Nexus to make it a 7-1.
Well, he didn't have the mana for that, but yeah.
I'm saying in general. God.
And if the Signal Pest gets to attack next
turn.
turn...
Come on, Caleb.
It'll be an 8-1.
Oh my goodness. And she's at 9?
Well, yeah.
Where's your Ancient Grudge now?
Yeah, she really needs a Creeping Corrosion.
She really does. That'd be amazing, though. I don't think she has it.
It's not in her hand, no. Or she would have played it last turn. But she could draw it. Another Ancient Grudge would probably bring her back in the game. As would Jund Charm, which we know are in her deck. Because I saw them when she was shuffling.
Okay, so she did bring in her Jund Charms then.
She did, yep. Which makes sense. Like, it's good in the matchup. So she's probably got, like, 3 or 4 really good cards to draw into, and then a couple, like, spot removal cards that extend the game. Cards like Abrupt Decay for the cranial plating would be fine here. I don't think that's what's in her hand, though. I don't really see it.
Looks like a Deathrite Shaman because it's signed. Or Inquisition. Inquisition to Kozilek.
Ooh, that's a good Inquisition.
Wow. That's
that
probably
second
the best
plating
thing you can hit.
Yeah, would have just won the game.
On the spot.
Right.
Like, literally. It would have literally won the game on the spot. No?
I think you're affecting an accent there.
No, that was my normal voice.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why you'd even think that. That's really weird.
Is the rest of the time you're talking the accent, then?
I don't want to get into my personal life right now.
Personal life. But it's also your life on display at this moment.
It's none of their business. It's none of your business, Caleb. Just let me live my life. Say it was a Deathrite Shaman.
It was. You were correct.
Now they have brothers. They are brothers.
Serving in. So she can gain 3 life between the Deathrite activation and the
Scavenging Ooze?
The Scavenging Ooze,
activation.
Yeah. So she's not dead, but it's very close. Or is she dead? The Blink Moth Nexus activate? Yeah, I think she is dead.
She goes to 13.
8, 9, 10, 11.
Hold on, Adam's got something. It's going to be another cranial plating. Whoops.
Oh, right. No, she'd be two life short.
That's champion. Okay, that's fine. That ain't great.
Yeah, but it's fine. Yep.
Springleaf Drum.
And Adam taps the Signal Pest there instead of the Etched Champion because he wants to block with it. So even though attacking with the Signal Pest would have given him another point of life gain, another point of damage, he's more concerned about having a blocker at this point.
Yeah, which makes sense because being at 12 is also relevant. But I mean, like,
he's gaining a pile.
He's gaining like 8,000 life, I think. If we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Which we're not. In case you're just tuning in, we are playing Magic here at the TCG Championship, not Yu-Gi-Oh.
My blue eyes white dragon.
My name is Caleb Durward here with Frank Lepore. These people are playing $50,000 prize pool.
They're not playing that. They're playing for it, though.
They are playing for it.
Don't let them play with the money.
Susan Zell untapping for her turn.
It's not looking good.
She needs something. She needs a Creeping Corrosion.
Can this panda save her, is my question.
They're all good pandas. There's no such thing as a bad panda.
Is that true? Did you just make that
up? It's proven
up?
by science.
I like science. I trust it. I'm a man of science. Adam's at 20. Adam is at his starting life total because of that Vault Scourge with the cranial plating.
Vault Scourge, amazing card. Especially with plating. There are tons of other ways to grow Vault Scourge in this deck, too. Steel Overseer, Arcbound Ravager.
Yep, Master of Ethereum.
And he plays 4 Arcbound Ravager.
We haven't seen 1 in this matchup yet.
He went down to 2 Memnite and 2 Galvanic Blast to fit in those other cards. I kind of like that.
Yeah,
Memnite's kind of an air card.
Seems fine.
Like, it helps your mana develop between Mox Opal and Springleaf Drum, but it's kind of a bad top deck.
Which one? The
Memnite.
Memnite, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 0, so you're like, okay, it's a freebie, but like, yeah, no one wants to top deck a Memnite.
Right. And you want to maximize Ornithopter over it
Because of the evasion.
Yeah, it carries a plating.
Because that dude flies.
Because that dude flies has been called, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. That dude flies. Get up in the air, dude. He does.
He's just going to tap his guys sideways.
And Susan's like, I'm going to hold out and see if he attacks. Oh, he did? Okay, we're done. So Adam Yurchick.
2-0.
Adam Yurchick over Susan Zell, 2-0.
She put up a good fight.
The Panda Sleeves.
She played some interactive spells.
Yeah, no, definitely. The match seemed to go fine. Adam just...
And it looks like we have another match